Welcome to the Stanley Parable. I'm going to be playing this. Ooh, my mouse. Oh, that's cool. Okay, well, let's just begin this game. I just got this on Steam, kind of a binge purchase. I saw like a single video, about 10-minute video on it. Looked interesting. Thought I'd get it. Hopefully it makes a good video.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-ending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Sure. Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so I'm 427. I'm assuming that's important.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
It would appear as such, yes. You can't even look at the windows. There's nothing out there. Can I jump? Oh, shit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This goes both ways. That's a... Okay, cool. What's this say? Oh, well, turned it off, I guess.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Yeah. Well, that is indeed a wall. Okay. Let's move on.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, I watched a Let's Play. A small one. It was only like 15 minutes, and then I decided to get the game. And that person went to the right. So, I'm going to go to the left and see what actually happens in this direction. Interesting. Still checking all the doors.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker? Let it boil up inside you. Take it out. Nah. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Okay, sweet. Target demographic: teenagers. What is high? Profits. Interesting. A lot of percent. That is very true. Space between the teenagers. Throw something in the ideas bin. The idea bins. Okay. Idea. That's funny. Bi-quarterly post review. Well, there's lots of stuff I could be reading. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. That would be a boring job. Let's move on. Come on, the door. Okay, so I'm going to my broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
But what if there is something here? Oh. Alright.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet.
Okay.
No reason to still be here.
I get the game. Moving on.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Well, I am going to go downstairs because screw my boss. He's kind of a jock. You understand? Oh.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Wait.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
Why is there a car down
he
here?
thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my
Who wants
coworkers
this
blinking
parking spot?
mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
Just like this
And as
car
Stanley
being here.
pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Well,
Why did
game
doors
camera
close
there.
automatically behind him wherever he went?
I'm assuming the
And for
store's
that
good enough to
matter,
close.
these
Yeah,
rooms were
that's
starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt
Well,
to have finally found an answer. An
back to the car.
explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons.
Boring?
I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
Oh,
How
shit.
could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I feel a restart coming on. Nope. Just waking back up.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Well,
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I
have
am
an
in
inner
control of my
monologue.
mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
so who's the truly crazy one? Stanley was. But, you know. So is that inner monologue just like infecting new people? Well, I guess we're back to the beginning. That was really quick, actually. That was surprising.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yes,
What could it
yes.
mean?
They're all gone.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Who knows? Maybe I have.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
Meeny,
left.
miny, mo, pick a tile. I'm picking the right one.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Indeed
and
it is
Stanley
not.
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
So am I just like crazy?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Yes.
Stanley simply
Quite
stood
beautiful.
here, drinking it all in.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave. Screw that
But
place.
eager to get back to business,
Indeed.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Penalty for jumping off cargo lift, 5,000. Well, that's an idea. Can I go? Probably not. Okay. Well, I think I know what we need to do.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's
Yeah.
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
But, you know, Red, I think I'm just gonna go and continue to not listen to him. See what's up.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
The hell I did.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through... All right,
Fuck
fine,
you.
go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Yeah, what's
You
up?
see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Yes.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do
Ruining.
you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Sure.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
You know what? I'm gonna listen to him this time.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
You know what? Nah, that's what you mean.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Let's find out. What's this? The leaderboard. Okay. Oh, shoot. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go through the same door. See what's up.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Meh.
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh,
In
fire.
this game,
Okay.
the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because
Both.
if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
This is a game. It's called the
Yes,
Stanley Parable.
This seems like it'll work.
Sounds
Let's
like
give
good.
it a shot.
Let's do it. Ooh, I get a mouse. Oh. Oh my god.
Well, Stanley, is this any better?
Yes,
At
but
last,
can I
the one
jump?
thing you've always desired.
Can I
a
jump?
game I
How do I
had
jump?
absolutely nothing to do with.
How do I
But
jump?
is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley.
Seriously though, how do I
Will
jump?
it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here. And then...
It's a pretty shitty
See,
house.
what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all
Of
off...
course.
Yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it.
Have you had-
Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect?
Ooh.
It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond.
Yes.
Diamond everything.
Yes.
Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Sweet. Let's go. Okay. I'm assuming they're going down this way.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Of course I have. So am I gonna get attacked by a creeper? Or... I feel like I'm gonna die soon.
No, this is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5.
Whoa, whoa,
Even
whoa.
the diamonds couldn't save this one.
5 out of 5.
Okay, new game.
5 out of 5. We'll play again. A+. It appears we are making progress.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Yeah, let's go. I want the portal. Let's go. I want it. Where's the portal? Oh, well, can I? No. Can I, like, do something now? Oh, shit. Let's go. Aperture. Hell yeah. Yes, there's a fun here.
It's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Yeah.
Genius. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble.
Aw, no more music. Yeah, that's what I thought. Death, I'm assuming? Oh, nope. Interesting. No, not that way. I feel so lonely now. And door? No, it stayed open that time. Ooh, light. Yes, go towards the light. Ooh. Nope. Okay. Going towards the light. Always a good idea. Hey, 47. We're home. Okay. Well, that was interesting, I guess. Oh. What just happened?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Indeed.
I can wait.
Hey, there it is. So I think we're gonna restart again. Yep, it would seem that way.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be.
Definitely.
Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Wait, I think that's not the same, was
When
it?
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Well, let's disobey him again.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nah. Let's go to the
Wow.
employee lounge.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, let's go.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping, coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Indeed. Hey, boss.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Not funny though, I guess.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, looks like we're going down.